Hi guys, I'm back again with another video Bafethu. This is your boy Mzansi Political Channel. There's a story written by Simon Majadibodu. It says Ramaphosa, I will not yield to threats. Ramaphosa responds to DA's 48-hour ultimatum on ministerial corruption. So the DA guys is giving Ramaphosa options to fire his ministers. The corrupt one, Ngabane and Smelan, and the other one that I've forgotten. President Cyril Ramaphosa has responded to DA leader John Steenhuisen, saying that he will not yield to threats after he gave Ramaphosa 48 hours to fire all ANC ministers involved in corrupt and nepotism. This comes after DA Deputy Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition Andrew Whitfield was removed from his position because he undertook an international visit without Ramaphosa's permission. He was charged with insubordination, and Ramaphosa fired him on the basis that he was in subordination. This comes after Ramaphosa's sudden decision to remove Whitfield from his position on Thursday. The president confirmed the dismissal of the deputy minister, plunging the government of national unity into shaky ground. Whitfield, a DA member of parliament, was serving in the Ramaphosa-led GNU. A brief statement from the president thanked him for his service but gave no reason for his removal. So people are speculating, and everyone knows that the reason why he was fired is because he undertook that trip to the US without Ramaphosa's permission or knowledge. The president can confirm that in terms of Section 93 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa in 1996, President Cyril Ramaphosa has removed the Honorable Andrew Whitfield MP from the position of Deputy Minister of Trade. The statement read. Earlier, IOL News reported that Whitfield said the DA may reconsider its role in the GNU if Ramaphosa fails to act against the minister the party deems compromised. He confirmed that the president gave no formal reason for his removal other than citing Section 93, which gives the president the prerogative prerogative to appoint and dismiss members of the executive. At no stage leading up to this letter that I received or up until this evening have I received any formal explanation as to what the reason may be, Whitfield said. The Blue Party believes the dismissal is linked to Whitfield's February trip to the United States as part of a DA delegation reportedly undertaken without written presidential approval. But why would they do things that outside the government of national unity while they in the government of national unity? So they don't want to be led, but they want to be part of the government. About Whitfield and the DA now, it's some headache. The is just a headache, no solution. With a clean government that has not been proven by no one. Ramaphosa has recently broken his silence on the matter, explaining that it is not standard practice for the president to publicly share reason for executive appointments or dismissals. However, he said he felt compelled to speak out due to unfortunate statements and outright distortions made by Whitfield and the DA leader John Steenhuisen. Ramaphosa said Whitfield was removed because his trip to the United States violated rules and established practices governing the conduct of members of the executive. These requirements are known to all ministers and deputy ministers, Ramaphosa said. He added that they were covered during the induction of the 7th administration and reiterated in cabinet in March. The president emphasized that all international travel by members of executive requires the express permission of the president. Mr. Whitfield deliberately chose to violate this rule, Ramaphosa said. He sent a perfunctory letter of apology following the trip, indicating that he was aware of the violation. Ramaphosa said he informed Steenhuisen in advance of the dismissal and requested that the DA submit a replacement for the post in accordance with the GNU arrangement. So they didn't take the minister from the ministry from the DA, they just fired the guy. So the DA does not have to complain and stuff. It's not like they lost something. They only lost this guy who doesn't follow rules and regulations. During that discussion, Steenhuisen confirmed that Whitfield had anticipated possible dismissal. Ramaphosa said Steenhuisen asked whether there was precedent for such action, to which he responded by mentioning the dismissal of former Deputy Minister Winnie Madikizela Mandela in 1995 and Deputy Minister Nosiziwe Madlala Rutland in 2007, both for unauthorized international travel. Given all these circumstances, there are no reasonable ground for the DA to issue ultimatums and threats, Ramaphosa said. But you cannot let me just scroll down and read. There is no basis for suggestion that dismissal was linked to anything other than Mr. Whitfield's failure to comply with the rules. Ramaphosa said Steenhuisen had asked for time to brief the DA's federal executive before the dismissal letter was delivered. However, the president said this would not have affected the decision. It is the responsibility and prerogative of the president to determine the timing and the manner of appointments and removals, Ramaphosa said. I am amazed at Mr. Steenhuisen's intemperate reaction to Mr. Whitfield's removal. He knows very well that blatant disregard of the rules is a serious violation. Everybody knows, except the DA and Steenhuisen. Or maybe they have double standards. The president said Ramaphosa will not yield to threats or ultimatums, particularly from members of the executive whom he appoints under the constitution. So we must follow the constitution, everyone. The DA loves the constitution, so they need to follow it. The DA has given President Cyril Ramaphosa a 48-hour ultimatum to fire several NNC ministers and deputy ministers implicated in corruption or face the consequences. The party, so if Ramaphosa didn't fire this guy, the DA wouldn't have said that the man Ramaphosa should fire these ministers. They wouldn't have spoken out. Hi, the DA man. Hi. I always say the DA is the same as the NC. Same coin, different sides of the same coin with the NC. I'm telling you. Copy and Dale. The DA has given the party specifically mentioned Thembi Similan, who remains in the cabinet despite being implicated in the VBS looting scandal, and Nobuhle Ngabane, who misled Parliament over an attempt to deploy corrupt cadres to SITA board. It has given Ramaphosa 48 hours to fire Similan Ngabane and other ministers and deputy ministers implicated in corruption. If Ramaphosa fails to do so, the DA has warned that the consequences will be severe. We call on the president to fire Similan Ngabane, Mahlobo and other ANC ministers and deputy ministers implicated in corruption within the next 48 hours. The DA said if they fail to do so, the ANC will inflict grave consequences on South Africa. So that was the whole story, guys. Tell me, what do you think, guys? You think the DA, you think the DA is fair? Do you think the DA has the best interest of South Africans at heart, or they're just playing politics? And please comment down below to subscribe. This is your voice in Mzansi Political Channel. See you on the next video.